Exeter game this season. Paul Burt, Nigel Carrick, couple of flags. The only time this season, the Aviva Premiership, in perfect synchronicity. Brett to Kingsholm, 6 ways to the Rico, from up at Kingston Park to down here at the Stoop, all kicking off at the same time. You've got the best seat in the house. You want to watch the final day of the regular season as it unfolds. You rather base yourself in front of the Gloucester-Northampton match. That's across on BT Sport 2 right now for your entertainment over the next couple of hours. A team who are desperate to finish in the top 6 and qualify for the Champions Cup. A team who are desperate to win and play at home in the playoff semi-finals.
Yes.
Chiefs in the changed white strip. Evans launching Brown immediately. To Evans again. Lambert chugging on. James Waldron to hold up Rob Shaw. Roberts running off his fly half and running into the big arms of Mitch Lees. Jack Clifford, no Luke Wallace today, missing with concussion. So Clifford at 7, Rob Shaw at 6. Matthews was the option, but this is Winston Stanley, Samoan international in his first season. George Lowe amongst those missing with concussion. And again, Roberts picking that line as we saw him do against Grenoble here a couple of weeks ago in the Challenge Cup semi-final. Against the French, he was a bit closer to the line and he scored a try, but see the idea. Here goes Robshaw, head down. Once again, Waldron with the tackle. Good early possession from the hosts. Chisholm. Taken on by Clifford. Pushed backwards by Knoll.
Wait for the ball. Nothing for him.
Charlie Matthews was making the run to receive the ball that never came. Yard, meantime, again to Robshaw.
Have a look. Definite high shot. Got to be on Yard. It was off though.
Yes, that was high. That was high. Advantage, Danny. High tackle back there, mate.
Confirmation from Sean Davey that was a high tackle. So this a shot to nothing for Quins, gathered in by Knoll. Back we come. 15 phases, Oz. They were eloquent, efficient early on.
Well, if you wanted to know if the players wanted to give Conor O'Shea a decent send-off, and the supporters, the first 2.5 minutes will really indicate that. Really intense, high pace, really quick continuity. It was a high shot from Welsh.
It was 5 Exeter. Yeah,
and they were making ground as well. Not many sides do. Exeter, though, decided not to compete at any of the breakdowns, which is rare.
You just wonder what the thinking is behind that breakdown decision, Oz, because they're not even having a bite. You might expect Salvi to, even he hasn't had a bite yet. Maybe they're just thinking Quins are going to storm out of the blocks, loads of emotion, loads and loads of one-out carriers, loads of tip-ons. Let's just make our tackles for the first part of the game and see where it lands us, instead of committing all those numbers and struggling in that foot race around to the far side, which is where Quins need you to struggle if they're going to get momentum.
First points here at the Stoop this afternoon belonging to Harlequins and to Nick Evans. First points at Kingsholm as well. Gloucester have taken an early lead against Northampton. A Greg Laidlaw penalty will keep you bang up to date with all the scores as they go in. Austin's got his eye on the other 5 games. We'll be running in tries as they happen. Austin's high restart.
And he's lost forward.
Oh, was lost by Merrick. Slade, Steenson. Advantage didn't last long. Hill was chasing this, and so is Short.
A couple of brilliant interventions by Gareth Steenson. That was a fantastic kick. George Merrick knocked it on. It's just a nightmare kick for a second row. He needs to get up in the air before the opposition arrive. They practically had the kettle on before that one came down. Really, really tough for Merrick to take with his pot, and a lovely kick to the corner.
You can see from this kick from Steenson, though, just how strong that wind is. He's diagonal that more towards the try line. The wind's got hold of it and pushed it a full 14 metres out from where it was intended to land. So it's very, very strong. So this half is so important for Quins.
Danny, that's once.
Rifled in by Ward into the arms of Matthews. Onto the line now. Kerr keeps it low. Bounces over the head of Dolman, who's got a bit of a scamper to reclaim possession.
Just hold, Julian. Yeah.
Brown running onto it up to halfway, and he's lost it in his collision with the fullback Coleman.
The wind caught that as well. You saw Mike Brown, as soon as the ball left Dolman's boot, adjusting himself and then realising that's coming nowhere near me. The wind's caught it.
Line, please, Charlie. Charlie, line, please. 6.
Makes line-outs pretty tough. Great throw.
To find Damien Welch. Preferred as a starter today ahead of Jeff Parling.
What?
Chudley, starting at scrum half, goes into west of the ball. Hill was clapping for it, but it was meant for Steenson, and this is Dolman, who's been busy recently. Short to his left. Tackled by Stanley instead. He's building on the 10-metre line. Hill. Evans wasn't far away, but it got to Noel just in time.
Oh, he saw the defender coming so well, Noel. Step back on the inside to avoid getting tackled well behind his supporting players. Great play.
Selby hit by Robshaw. And Robshaw gets up and tries to win the space over the ball, but there were too many white shirts. Steenson takes aim behind Chisholm.
Tell you what, brilliant tackle that from Robshaw. Just knocks the player back 1.5 yards in midfield, forces a kick from Steenson.
22, still rolling, still rolling.
Robshaw, June season, as David was suggesting, it's been a real season of contrast as well, that began with the World Cup, but you're drawing up your Aviva Premiership 15 of the season, as we all are at the moment. You'd give some thought to Chris Robshaw at 6. He's been good.
Difficulty when you're picking those players is the England lads, they haven't played enough games. They just don't play enough Aviva Premiership games because of England.
Robshaw again with the first tackle after the first carry of Waldron, and very quickly to the left-hand side, and Shaw look back on his season with enormous satisfaction, perhaps his best yet. Matthews was up quickly on Steenson, but Chiefs still with ball to try and polish. This is Alec Hepburn. Ken Moon has had a busy period over the last couple of months on the bench today. Slade not deciding to mix up with Hill instead. There was a hint of the forward about that from Short, but on we go, and on we go with the ball in Harlequins' hands, and Mike Brown specifically. Charge from Clifford. Making sure it's still London ball. And Danny Kerr. Noel. Towards Merrick and beyond Merrick. And then beyond Clifford. Ball went backwards to find Chudley. Curving run, full of questions from Noel.
No, it's still in there. Let it go.
Please. Welch had it. Waldron's come round, claps for it, gets it. Then quickly away by Hill, and this is Short. Race for the line, and he scores. Set up initially by the brilliant run of the England right wing, Jack Noel.
Well, he's just in fantastic form. His low centre of gravity carries him through the initial tackle. There's then a great footwork, looking for Chudley on the inside. You think Danny Kerr saved a certain try with the intervention, but as he cuts back, Exeter definitely trying to attack Quins on their short side. Quins have conceded a lot of tries this year down that channel. Great pass here. Danny Kerr just gets his hand in the way, otherwise Chudley's under the posts. But then as they recycle it, they go through the phases, through the hands, and Short has the power to finish.
Short's going to take a big hit to stop Short from there. When you're coming side on like that and you're trying to make up ground like Yard was, you've got no chance. I think you're right, Nick. I think there may well have been a forward pass a few phases ago. That's long since forgotten, it seems, and maybe we're wrong and they've had a look at it. But that break from Noel was fabulous. Picked off the big man Merrick, got a bit tight to Collier in defence. Those big fellas are never as comfortable out defending those wide channels because they're communicating with different people. They're communicating with the outside backs instead of the other forwards. That's fabulous from Noel.
As he judged this, it's far away, but not close enough. So James Short, 11th try of the season, remains unconverted. Now Austin, Bath have scored a try at the Rec against Leicester.
Yeah, they have. Some feeble, lacklustre defence from Leicester, but not taking anything away from Bath. Ford takes the ball to the line, distributes it wide. Watson runs a great line through the middle. He offloads back to the inside, and Rokoduguni finishes under the post. 7-0.
Back off, Queens.
9 tries in 8 games now for Rokoduguni. Bath have been 9th for the bulk of the season. That's where they'll stay. Leicester with still an outside hope of a home semi-final, but not done their harm. Their hopes any decent good there. Worcester 7, Saracens 7, by the way. Latest score from Sixway. Phil Dowson and Neil de Kock with the early tries.
To chase that from Short makes all the difference. Nightmare scenario for Marlon Yard.
No quick ones, no quick ones.
Just given a big slug, bounces really fortunately for the Chiefs. But look at Short, off the ball graft. Very good play, good pressure play.
In that position of the field, though, the ball simply shouldn't be landing on the grass. You've got to get that pendulum working, get underneath it, particularly into the wind when you get a much better hang time, much more time to get underneath the ball. As Flat said, very rare for into the wind for the ball to kick forward like that.
Taken by Dave Ewers. Returned to the starting lineup against Wasps last Sunday after the knee injury. And now in the middle of this swirling massive humanity. They've got the penalty. Will Chudley's dig it out. Alec Hepburn has his hands on it and he's driving to the line. A little bit of help from Lees. It's going to have to be reset with Ewers. George Merrick, those trying to put their big frames in the way. Collier on his marks. Picked up once more by Hepburn. And he's crawling to the line there. That close. Harry Williams, long-haired partner in crime. Another advantage. Waldron! Thinks he might have. Oh, no, so close to the post protector. Maybe now. Slade to Dolman to Noel, and they have a second score.
Oh, Henry Slade, stop it. Out the back, a yard out. Under all that pressure, feels none of it. That's a lovely score. Brilliant leg drive from Hepburn, from Waldron. Really good pass from Ewers, and how about that from Henry Slade? Considering the position he's in, high risk.
He's in the knowledge, though, isn't he? He's got 2 guys outside him. All the hard work's been done by the forwards. You watch Exeter carry, they don't carry shoulder to shoulder. They always look for the outside line. They know that it keeps the legs away from the tackle. And when you've got big ball carriers like Ewers, like Lees, like Waldron, you're going to make 1 or half a yard more, and that's all the difference you need if you want to gain width. And those guys profit from it.
First try scored by the left wing. Second try scored by the right wing. Both of them involving the sharpest of handlings and the sharpest of minds. Henry Slade with the conversion attempt, or rather Steenson with the conversion attempt that falls short. Austin.
Yeah, there's been a try up at Newcastle, and it's for Sale, who are right in the running. Seymour right in the middle of the driving maul. It's been one of their strengths, not just this season, but for a number of years, that northern grit. And he eventually gets over and gives them the lead 5-0.
Sale currently 7th in the Premiership, and point behind Harlequins, but that's where they could finish. If they stay as they are, they could be 5th, and they could be absolutely sure of their Champions Cup spot next season. Just to sort things out, by the way, in the Premiership, top 6, absolutely sure of qualification to Europe's elite league next season. But if Harlequins do win the Challenge Cup next season, and they're in one of the top 6 places, then it would extend down to the 7th place in the Premiership.
Yeah, but based on current form and playing at home, I think you've got more chance statistically against Exeter at home. Montpellier are playing an incredible brand of rugby at the minute. They'll be very difficult to beat out there in Lyon. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm sure Conor O'Shea, as coaches, the players will want to get the job done today.
It's our first scrum, Flex. You had to wait 15 minutes for this.
No, I need to bother getting up so early.
Okay, let's go then, fellas.
Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time now to go through this one. And the one after it, and the one after that, until there's a penalty.
Just don't talk about what's going to happen off the back of it.
Barnes was having nightmares about scrums last weekend after taking charge of the game at the Gardens.
Thank you. Let's go. Still in, Danny, still in.
Decent shove from Quins as
no, it's already gone.
Yandel tried to hook that back.
12, never onside.
Jamie Roberts offside.
Sorry, fellas, offside, number 12, never onside.
Straight back up onto the 8th foot and block the pass and come.
Offside, 12.
Touches on that far side is Nigel Carrick.
Offside, 12.
Roberts stepping up a little bit too eagerly.
I think he'd feel a bit hard done by there, because Thomas Waldron was never bound at the back of the scrum. He'd broken off, the ball was out. But unfortunately, if you know the laws and you move forward and someone else doesn't quite see it, it looks like you're offside. Roberts wasn't offside at all.
Say again. You got the line. Yeah, no worries. You got the line, fellas. Who's in?
You're saying you read that well, Oz?
I think he read it really well. Waldron was never bound on the scrum, even when the ball was coming in.
A moment of concern for Quinn's defence here. Again, it's Welch.
How about that for a take?
Starting to
Don't change your mind.
pitch the tent in Harlequins 22 as well, David. And once again, ball in their control, although Quins have done well to chip off the main area of threat. They've done better than well, they've done brilliantly.
Yeah, it's well defended. It's the conversation is coming up more and more recently. How do you defend a driving ball once it's got going? And the answer is kind of that, stop it from getting going. Looks like someone's split Waldron somewhere inside that cap. He'll trot off and get that fixed. Often when the blood's pumping, it looks a lot worse than it is on your head.
This is Kai Horseman scored a couple of tries as the Braves beat Northampton in the A-League on Bank Holiday Monday.
Quinn's ball.
Thomas Waldron.
Let's keep that balance all the way through.
Top Premiership try-scoring charts in consecutive seasons on their own. Steve Hanley did it once, but he shared it. But that's what the man who's just left us to get patched up has his eye on this afternoon.
It's just absolutely remarkable record over the past 2 seasons. But he's always in position to go and do that, isn't he? Every driving ball is there. Every pick and go around the side. He can sniff out the line.
He scored 13 tries this season. Christian Wade has 11. Largely to 6 he scored against Worcester, but he's chasing down Waldron.
Balance. It was really good on your ball. I expected good on their ball. He's done a magnificent job covering for Thomas Francis. He'll be back from his Six Nations ban for the playoff semi-finals. Charlie Matthews. Yeah, it's just on his haunches. Evans clears long. Oz.
Yeah, there's been a try down at Kingsholm, and it's for the away side. Great break from Malander. Beats 3 players, stays on his feet, keeps the ball alive, and there's a lovely interchange of passing between the PC brothers, and over goes George. The opening score.
For Northampton will guarantee 5th place.
How nice is that? Beautiful try.
Tackle!
Chudley to Horseman.
Tackle made.
Just come on. Made his Premiership debut for Harlequins.
No, Dave!
In 2002.
Second man.
Viewers. Clifford hanging on to him.
Backwards play on.
It was Robshaw with the hit. He's been busy.
Yep, the Chiefs are on the back foot again. Another good tackle from Robshaw. Easton now trying to hold the man up. Does that so well. He's so strong.
Clearly held him up. Got underneath him.
Dave Ward in under there as well. Gets a lovely position. Helps that he's about 3 feet tall. Turn it into a more. It's scrappy stuff, but really good defending.
More grey hairs just starting to pop into the barnet. Every chance that this is going to be his last ever game in the Premiership. He's going to become
part of the coaching team next season, one of the defence coaches.
I think he's probably had it dyed so that you look a little bit older, a little bit wiser when he moves straight into the coaching side. A bit like yourself, Nick. You look like a wiser commentator.
He's got one or two. He's got a white beard. And I bet you he plays games next season. He'll play games when he's 45.
This is 280th for Harlequins, and he didn't start until his mid-20s. He was a relatively late starter at this level. And he's still going to be registered next season as Chiefs put on a charge at the scrum and win a penalty.
Really, really good pressure from Alec Hepburn on the Chiefs' loose head. As soon as Dave Ward lifted his foot, the pressure came through. What you get with Hepburn is a huge amount of work. A fabulous haircut as well. Get a huge amount of work, not an enormous prop, fabulous in the loose, incredible leg drive and engine, but actually just doesn't stop trying. So if there's a weakness, he'll find it.
Lots of driving balls, Nick, around the Premiership. Tried for Leicester, Balmain goes over to make it 7-5 Bath Exeter, but Newcastle have scored. Nililatu at the back, no defence on the short side for Sale, and over they go.
I thought it was. I
Currently,
thought we got it out at the end. I just
Newcastle 5, Sale Sharks 8.
It's been a good signing, Nililatu.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
So Yendel. Chiefs line out that's up there with Sales this season as the best line out in the Premiership. Flicked back by Salvi to Horseman, and Hill shuffles it on. Wrestling with Ian Whitten for the 12 shirt this season. Ollie Devoto will add to the level of competition next season. Hill starting today, and again underneath the posts. Chiefs threatening, asking questions, looking for a third try, and they've got one with Ewers.
How strong is Dave Ewers? 9 out of 10 players get hit there, full half a yard short. How often do we see it? He's just a brute. Third try for the Chiefs. Didn't look entirely straight to me, that. Salvi had to reach for it. It's the first time Sam Hill's been used in Venom. He's been used as a decoy once or twice, but a great hit from Roberts. Three guys are so strong, including Clifford.
Roberts makes the first up it and stops them dead on the gain line. And then Welch comes around the corner. Robshaw gets a good grip on him, but just goes too far and slides round, sliding Welch through the tackle, and then they come round the corner. You're not going to stop Dave Ewers if you're a back, no matter how many of you there are. There could have been 7 backs there. That big guy is going over.
Only a quarter of the way through the match. Chiefs have scored 3 tries. I think they can start to put the pies in the oven for the semi-final in a couple of weeks. They are going to be hosting one of the semi-finals at this rate. And all this after Quinn started so well, that fantastic early phase of possession. They look strong, but Exeter have been magnificent for the last quarter of an hour.
Quinns did start well, but Exeter looked totally prepared for it, didn't they? Standing off the breakdowns. Here we go.
Here's Chisholm, this is Robshaw, and now Clifford. First time they've been in the 22, ball in hand. And they have a penalty. Great restart.
He was
Good kick.
legal. He was
Good take.
legal, and then he went off his feet. No, originally legal, but then went off his feet wrong side. Just a penalty.
I think they'll keep the pies in the oven just for now. That was actually a great take on a short line by Clifford as well. It was man and ball. He was flat out. Chisholm did really well. It was a very good kick. Put the Chiefs pot under all sorts of pressure straight over Mitch Lee's head. He says no, Noel's not tight enough. He thinks Mitch Lees is going to get it. Chisholm did really well. Really good following up work, good basics.
It's back for Matthews. And in the end, it's still Quinn's ball. Ward sorting things out. He's got Merrick for support. Taken on by Ward. Care. Roberts from short range. Whole army of Chiefs holding him up, but now there might be room. Noel was offside. Chisholm has got 3 men to try and wriggle by. The ball's there. Care. Almost sliding over the line, twisting and turning. And that might be a job for the TMO.
Great pickup from Danny Care, swooping around then.
Noel's everywhere, isn't he? Sometimes offside, then in the breakdown, then trying to roll Danny Kerr. Did Danny have the strength to get it down? I doubt he had the weight, but I think he may well have had the upper body strength.
Or he's hit the ground and then put his hand underneath it. So we're checking, try yes or no here. If not, we got an offside.
Okay, try yes or no.
That's at the moment at the end of all that when Danny Kerr finally put the ball down.
It'll be a penalty if not. It's offside out on the blind side.
Queens will have a penalty.
No, 7. They're originally legally.
Right, here we go, Wayne.
Yeah.
Chudley putting his back into it.
Oh, no, it's not.
You see a ball in there, Roz?
This will probably be the best angle. He goes to ground, but he doesn't make two movements because he's lifted back off the ground.
Yeah, he's got to rip that right shoulder down, isn't he now?
Turns left. Oh, did it touch there? Did it just touch? That's a try. That ball is down. That ball is down.
Here we go. This will tell us. Yep, got it. As long as it's not short, he's got it, isn't he?
Sean David, the TMO.
Hi, Wayne. There's nothing clear and obvious there.
I agree. It's a shame we haven't got a better angle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's no try. There's nothing clear, but it's a
thought that went down.
offside.
So did he.
Waiting for his first Premiership try this year, Danny Kerr. He will tell us long into tonight that he scored one just now, but according to the officials.
Next scrum.
The question there wasn't, is there any reason I can't award the try? It was, can we definitively see him get the thing down effectively? No, I guess we couldn't. It certainly felt like he did.
Watch back on, please.
Well, next job.
Shoulder one.
By the way, Thomas Walden is back in this scrum. We'll see Kai Horseman again later.
Bind!
Collier up against Alec Hepburn. Collier's 5th start in a row in the Premiership. Adam Jones cooling his heels today. And again, the timing of the Chiefs shove, David,
it's a bit of bug for me,
just as the hooker Ward lifts his right foot.
Yeah, it's exactly what every scrum tries to do. Alec Hepburn doesn't necessarily stick with his hooker. The Chiefs loser doesn't necessarily stick with his hooker like Ben Noon does, the prop on the bench. He goes, sometimes kicks his hips out and works a bit more of an angle, but he's very aggressive. So he will go for you. Equally, if Collier gets it right, sticks himself in that hole and effectively doesn't fall over, and doesn't let Hepburn get underneath his outside shoulder and kind of lift him up and barrel him across, you can slip past the loose head prop that does that. So Collier needs to not get caught. Hepburn needs to not get spat out the side.
Ball's been lost by Easter. And by Ewers, tries to smuggle it to the Cornishman Newell.
Back foot, take a step.
To work hard to clear their lines here. This is Chudley.
Vantage over.
Into touch. Now, it's not been a great season for London Irish, but they've got to try at the Rico, Austin.
They certainly have, Nick, and when the pressure's off, you sort of relax, and Williams has been carrying so well all season. No different here, over underneath the posts. London Irish lead 7-6 at the Rico.
What's soft?
7th try of the season to win, and they thought that they might be able to put some pressure on the Chiefs. Wasps.
I'll find that.
However, given the scoreline that we've got here after 26 minutes, Chiefs comfortable enough in 2nd place right now. I knew before coming into this weekend who the top 4 would be. It's just about really today who finishes 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Might have to reprint that top of the table, Nick. There's been a try at the Rico.
Oh.
I'll come to it in a bit.
6, fellas.
I reckon that Wasps might have scored. Flats.
It was fun one at last.
Let's not give the game away. But we'll come back. So Dave Ward starting ahead of Joe Gray, who's being rested ahead of next Friday's European final. Brilliantly taken by Rob Shaw. Walsh was up there having a little fish around. Roberts looks interested, but Kerr goes the other way. He's got Chisholm for support. Goes beyond the prop and then he's hauled down by the fly half. Half hauled down. Kerr to Lambert. You could see him stoking the fires.
It's like two fridges clashing, wasn't it?
It was legal.
Easter, Rob Shaw. To evade the tackle of Leeds, Matthews, Clifford. And Thomas Waldron, who's got a new blood-free lid on. Evans again. Roberts exploring that channel. But Ward got the ball away quickly as Steenson came in with the hit.
No tackle.
Kieran Salvi. Mitch Lees with the latest attempt to hold Quins up. Yards there. I mentioned Marlon Yard much in the first 27 odd minutes of this match, but he's to do work here. Rob Shaw waits. Evans again. Roberts, it's being signposted at the moment. Now here goes Yard. Some sharp feet, and Salvi had to get around the ankles to slow him up. Evans, Clifford, Chisholm, the Flyers to his right. Rob Shaw, so nearly held on to it. If he had have done, he might have scored.
Millisecond sooner. That ball had come a millisecond sooner. I think he'd have had that. It just landed on his left hip. And he's got the hole, he's through.
Was it Harry Williams? Does he get a hand on it? He's just going to take it. Yeah, Harry Williams slaps it out of his hands. Could have played on from that. It's happened so quickly. It's that left hand there, Williams comes through. I think Rob Shaw might just have held on to that on the left buttock.
As long as that, you know, you've got a good grip, a good firm buttock on which to purchase Austin. Can happen, can't it? He did fall over though, so he couldn't really have played on with it. But yeah.
Ready when you are, Quins.
Can we go back to that try at the Rico that we
How do you know there's been a try at the Rico? Okay. So long ago. Yeah, it's Thomas Young. Another. If you like driving balls, then this is the weekend for you, because there's another driving ball try.
Throughout the game now, please.
Wasps turn on the power, go round the corner.
Beautiful.
And they're going to have to work on that, because there's a good chance they're going to be playing Exeter next week. There's going to be a lot of maul in to defend.
Thomas Young, another one of those players who's emerged this season as not just the boss's son anymore, but a very, very handy player in his own right.
Yeah.
Clipped back by Yendall.
Looking at a penalty for Chiefs here, yeah. Really good patience. You saw the last Harlequins scrum where I think it was Easter or Kerr knocked it on at the back. They were just starting to edge forward through Lambert, and you thought if only Quins had been patient and left it in, back the guys up front. Chiefs did just that in a more defensive position. They backed Williams, Hepburn and Yendall to get them moving forward. Eventually, Quins crumble and they can clear their lines.
Just talk about the view that Jack Yendall would have in that situation, the mechanics of getting the ball in and out so efficiently as they did just then.
Well, you need your props to do a good job for you. So effectively, you're lifting your foot off the ground, so you're a lot weaker, of course, than if you had 2 feet in kind of squat position. So you become weak. Jack Yendall can be as big and strong. You can see how big and strong he is. He's not that big and not that strong when he's only got 1 foot on the floor. So you need your loose head to be very, very strong in the lower back and almost hold you up. Because everyone's trying to put their weight on your neck and Yendall's neck, trying to hold him up, and your tight head absolutely cannot move backwards, because then you're asking a hooker to pivot on 1 foot away from the ball while he's trying to hook it across the other way.
Here's the other big job, throwing the ball in. And he does that well enough by Damien Welch. Those who, big names who missed a chunk of the season with injury, but Welch involved now at the tail end of it. One of the supporters was taken out. That's That's the reason for the penalty.
It's the sort of penalty that when you're taking the lifters out, the sort of penalty that someone like a Damien Welch does attract, because he's so long and lean, he flies up in the air. It often feels like the only way you can get to him.
You got it. Yeah, he's fine.
Ewers, scorer of the third try. This is Yendall. Hepburn, Junior World Championship winner with England a couple of years back. One of that young Chiefs crew that really started to emerge back then. Ewers once more. Don Armand missing today, by the way, because he's got an elbow problem. Taken on by Waldrum. The man with no number. Steenson. Tackle from Clifford. Chudley involves Hill. Explore on the right-hand side. Steenson, Dolman. Some commitment to get this ball back, so it slowed things down a little bit, but Yendall and the Chiefs still have it with Hill.
That's a good tackle from Lambert, heavy tackle.
Harry Williams recycles it. Slade. Chip through, short chasing, short against Yard. Yard gathers it. Job now to turn it back on the right side. Brown was there to secure possession, as was Easter. He's got some distance on that clearing kick. Noel will draw it back at them. Waldron was trying to offer the shield. Evans shoved him out the way, and then Noel goes beyond Evans. Dolman. Hand off on Kerr, and Chisholm rips the ball back. And then
It was ripped, I agree, but then you're on the floor and you've retained it back by playing it.
penalty against Phil Dolman.
Ball was ripped, so no knock on, but he got the ball back when he was on the floor.
Well, good scrambling defence from Quins. Ultimately, you think where they were a minute ago. Exeter putting lots of promising looking phases together. They've done well to turn that ball over. But more good work on his feet from Jack Noel.
Now Kingston Park, Sale try.
Yeah, another try for Sale, and it's a really good one. Newcastle struggling on their blind side to get the defence in place. Some
Just
quick offload, Cipriani out the back. Sam James, nice little step on the inside. Final bump off Delaney, and over he goes. They lead 15-5. Which puts up.
Sam James will be going to Australia this summer.
Probably not, no. More chance of going to South Africa, I'd have thought.
South African England Saxons team that'll be coached by Ali Heifer. Sitting next to Rob Baxter today. Again, Roberts. He's going to have sore shoulders tonight. He's done a lot of running at those defences, and now Kerr nips his way through. He's tackled by Slade. Matthews. Rob Shaw. Quins off in search of their first try of the match. Chiefs with 3 already. Shaw, Noel and Ewers.
Good work, both teams.
Evans. Brown, Chisholm. Lambert. Ball and Hepburn at pretty much the same time.
Don't touch the 9. Yeah, fine, ball clearly out. Off the foot, play on. Off the foot of Quins.
Got a hand on it.
There's nothing for mate.
Still Harlequins. Rob Shaw. And this is Winston Stanley. Easter. Evans. Ward. Brown. That little lasso defence that Chiefs run. Steenson had come round to cut the pass off. And there's a lot of Harlequins possession at the moment without any real sense that
They have the combination to the lock.
Not quite got a 9 on your back yet.
Maybe Evans can find it. Ball's been lost forward. And now Short with the advantage.
That's advantage now, that's fine, mate.
Ewers, Salvi.
Come this way, good work.
Steenson. Oh, Steenson's through. Now where's the support? He's inviting Knoll to charge onto this. Chisholm is rapid, however. And a little bit untidily, but nicely done in the end to find Clifford. Jack Knoll claiming that Ross Chisholm's foot was in touch. We're hearing that it was.
On his shoulder, on his head.
And that's a mess.
Well, it's a catalogue of errors, but you talked about Quins playing a lot of phases and not really going anywhere. And one of the reasons for it is the work rate of the Exeter front five. Williams and Hepburn in particular are absolutely fantastic defensively. As you see here, Chisholm gets back, he goes to ground, his head's in touch, so's his shoulder, and his foot is as well. Does he have to put him in the stand to get a line out?
No, actually picks up his foot and puts it in touch. So there you are, Gov.
Yeah, Dean, I will grab some actually, you might be all right.
Maybe if he'd have taken him to the hot dog stand on the first row, bought him a hot dog, then he would have got a line out.
Just think in terms of Quins unlocking this Exeter defence. Yes, the Exeter front five is working very well, but there's been a couple of episodes of nice sort of continuity and different players combining. So you saw Rob Shaw tackled by Hepburn. He pops it up to Dave Ward, who feeds Roberts on a short line. Lovely stuff, but these have been rare incidents, and actually it's more about giving the ball to great players and say, have a go, have a go, have a go, but it's quite one out.
Well, you watch Roberts always coming short off the back of the line out. Have a guess who's at the back of the line out now. Ewers, one of the biggest guys in the league, stops you dead on the tackle line. And that's one of the reasons why he hasn't had that final extra 5 yards of impact. Normally he'd carry Steenson for a good 5, maybe 10 yards. But he's dropping off the back of the line out and doubling up on Roberts on the tackle, trying to negate his strength.
And if he doesn't get quite as short, then he's got Sam Hill there as well, near on Steenson's other shoulder.
Yeah.
There's a good bit of meat to stop him in there.
Set.
That was what you call a hit and flop.
Need to hit up a bit higher, both teams. Hey, don't need to talk. Let's just get it sorted.
I mean, I can see why Wayne Barnes is saying you need to hit up and hold it, but actually I think what you need to do is not run around for about 25 consecutive phases before a scrum. Just need it. Sometimes you need a little collapse just to get your lungs back a little bit.
Game's gone flat, hasn't it? Game's gone. Hookers have to do that much work before they start to push.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember ever being tired when I played, but these days.
News of a try at Kingsholm in a moment, but let's watch this defensive scrum from a Harlequins perspective. Very good defensive scrum.
Outstanding. Mark Lambert on Quins loose said it's all about him. You can tell early on Exeter want to hit and hold and keep it solid. Lambert is a huge guy, 135 kilos plus, I expect. Doesn't look incredibly athletic, but I can tell you he's one of the fittest guys in the Quins squad. He doesn't stop working. That was pure work ethic. On his team, the pen there.
He's been a regular starter the last few months, Mark Lambert, covering for Joe Marler for one reason or another.
Just watch him here. Williams is nicely set. It just doesn't stop working. Rob Shaw's standing up, so he's not even helping. He kind of has to have a look, but Lambert's done that with the help of his second row and nothing else.
Five-man fellas.
Good work, nothing complicated, just graft.
Lloyd Evans and his first ever Premiership try. Cherry and White's ahead of Northampton. Northampton know a win would guarantee 5th, but they're behind heading into half-time. Reminder, they all kicked off at 3:30. The half-dozen games on the final day of the regular season. Clifford to Easter. Wearing the coach's tracksuit next season. Clifford again. Yard sweeping up. Goes beyond the clutches of Salvi. Lambert flaps it back. Ooh. There's Ewers. There's Waldron, by the way, who got down onto the ball on the floor quickest. And then Chudley. In the space between Chisholm and Yard. Chisholm takes it. Knowles interested.
Bring him on, Marlon.
Doesn't kick very often, Marlon Yard.
Yeah, you're onside now.
Dolman. short. Chiefs on their way with the early try.
Hurt Dolman that, got hit just as he passed that by Stanley. Knocked the wind out of him, nothing illegal.
Taken on by Lees. Slade, Hill, old schoolboy mates, Noel. And he's still interested.
Survived the clean out, always on his feet.
Brilliant defensive work from Mike Brown. He had a bite a couple of breakdowns ago and really nearly stole it after being shrugged off by Dave Ewers. Great resilience and strength, but Jack Noel is causing absolute carnage. That twice Roberts has missed him now. Causing real problems for Quins, but Mike Brown saved them.
You just can't switch off, can you, on the inside when Noel's got the ball, steps back against the grain really well. Well played, Brown. Gets in a perfect position, very strong when he's there. Right hand on the ball. Great turnover.
The thing is, when you get that low and you get in quick, yes, Chudley can get low, not strong enough to shift him. You get Williams and Ewers coming in there, effectively pushing down on top of you, compressing you onto that ball, almost helping you out.
Time's up at the end of the first half. Try-wise, it's been all Chiefs. No fair motoring towards a home semi-final unless Quins have something special over the next 40 and what's left of this half. The long pass was from Stanley to Yard, and now Brown, and this might be special. And Kerr will score and give his team and his departing coach hope heading into the half-time oranges.
Brilliant, lovely pass from Stanley out to Yard. Stopped him a little bit, but he had the wheels to get away from short. That Exeter defence held just a little bit by Jamie Roberts using that decoy short line. He's hit it so many times, so hard already in this first half. He's got to be covered. Great wheels from Mike Brown. Danny Kerr popping up, as you'd expect.
It looked like Exeter had everything covered. They'd read the two decoy passes, and then Shaw overshoots the line, giving the dog leg, giving himself too much work to do on the turn. Yard then accelerates away, and that's where the try is created.
150th Premiership game, first try of 2016 for the captain, Danny Kerr. All of a sudden, that scoreline looking not too bad. They're within 7 at the break, having conceded 3 tries in quick succession to the Chiefs. Short and Noel and Ewers. Danny Kerr's try has made this upcoming 40 well worth hanging around for. Chiefs lead 17-10 at half-time.
Welcome back at the Stoop. It's Harlequins 10, the Exeter Chiefs 17 at Kingsholm. It's Gloucester 20, the Northampton Saints 15. A tense time for so many up and down the Premiership. If you need to relax, how about a little bit of sailing? Well, the America's Cup World Series is on after us today. It's New York, it's day 1, 3 races coming your way live, 6:30, BT Sport 2. And Ben Ainsley is up and running in that one, so a little bit of British sportsmanship in action for you too. But how about the Aviva Premiership? Well, the Chiefs have a narrow lead, a 7-point lead. 3 tries in 22 minutes. We thought they had bagged a home semi-final, but the mighty Quins have awoken. Nick Mullins will talk you through the second half.
Chiefs' emphatic win against Wasps in Devon last weekend, penultimate weekend of the regular season, levering them within touching distance of a home semi-final. But one cautionary note, they've not won away since they beat London Irish in Reading in February. Set the foundations here.
Carry back.
Quins have put themselves very much back in the debate with that Danny Kerr try just before half-time. Evans. Now with the breeze that we've been talking about, Stinson thought about the quick line out, decided against it. By the way, Christian Wade has scored one of the tries to put Wasps ahead at the Rico, which means that he's moved within 1 of Thomas Waldron at the top of the try-scoring table.
6 score.
Thomas has got other things on his mind at half-time, but it's getting tight for that.
Someone tell him, someone shout it on. We don't want a winner winning that. Way more fun when someone like Waldron wins that award, isn't it?
That's once. That's once.
He's contributed elsewhere so far. Half a dozen carries so far, has taken him beyond his previous best of 313 in the Premiership season. He's not just a glory hunter, not just a try-line hanger.
It's a tackle, fellas. It's broke away. It's a clear tackle. It's broke away, and then he's tackled him and just lay on the wrong side.
Will Collier.
3. No more, fellas. It's all broken away. There's no one there, and then he's made the tackle.
Keep your eye on Collier. Forces a tackle, ball carrier comes loose, so the tackle's made and he does just flop on the top. You see him roll over the edge there.
Who's that, fellas?
Just roll onto the wrong side. Doesn't think he's done anything wrong, but it quickly turned into a ruck and you can't be there.
Fellas, how many there? 6.
Such a tough situation, though, isn't it? Your natural inclination must be to head towards the ball rather than away from it, which is actually what you have to do in that situation.
A big part of discipline in the modern game is just doing exactly what you know is going to look best for the referee.
Don't change your mind. Okay.
So many useful opportunities, handy-looking opportunities have been set up. Little moments like this for the Chiefs in the match so far. And on they drive with Mitch Lees.
Tackle now!
Those who return from long-term injury in time to influence the end of the season. Ewers was another. This is Sam Hill, England's Six Nations training squad. Hepburn.
Feet or feet?
Waldron running into Collier.
Nope.
Hill's waiting. Ball goes the other way to Steenson and Slade instead, and over the head of Dolman to Knoll, who sees the door half ajar and kicks it open.
What a pass, what a finish. Two class players, banging form. Quins had it covered. Exeter too good.
This is absolutely superb from Henry Slade. He can see Chisholm's in the line. He knows there's a risk of the intercept, but the pass is so on the money that it's never getting taken out of the air by anyone other than Knoll, and that is a top-notch finish round the outside.
And the significance of this score from Leicester's point of view is that the Chiefs have a bonus point try, and that means Tigers can't now get a home semi-final. They'll be on the road if they want to go to Twickenham at the end of the season.
Just that try, you think Chisholm's out of position, but he is the sort of winger that can give a player, well, like Knoll, he can give an opposition winger a bit of space on the outside because he's so quick, he's so fast, maybe the fastest guy in the Prem. If he's not, he's close. But that pass was so perfect, even he couldn't cover it.
A season that began with a hat-trick for England against Uruguay at the Etihad Stadium in the World Cup for Jack Knoll. Now one score away from hat-trick for the Chiefs towards the end of it. What's the conversion like? It is blowing a little bit. So, again, unconverted, but the Chiefs have scored 4.
And if you're a real rugby nerd like Austin and Nick, I'm much cooler than them. It might be interesting now to see if that communication gets to the Leicester Tigers bench, to the coaching team on the side of the pitch at Bath, and they start whipping players off and say, look, we've qualified for a semi. They start subbing off big players. That's really, really nerdy. Austin's already checking.
Well, I think you only have to look at Leicester's team to realise that they had that intent already. They've got a lot of youngsters in that side.
Chudley spins it to Steenson. Shield of the eyes from the sunshine. It was troubling Brown, but he did that well. And off he goes. Tackled by Knoll and Hill on halfway. Ward was offering himself. Instead, Clifford was the first port of call. Stanley, oh, he did that nicely, stood up, Welsh, and now Roberts and Yard. He's got a lot of work to do, still has Robert in support. Ball was knocked backwards by Short, and he was the one who got onto it first.
Use it!
A couple of seconds of defensive work from Chiefs left wing.
Ball is out.
Slade preparing himself to
Out forwards.
clip the clearance away on the left foot. Brown chatting with Easter. Roberts has
shuttled back to offer some support, but Brown still going. Oh, it was an important tackle from Dolman, but Robshaw now goes with it, and it's opening up a little bit on that left-hand side, but they couldn't secure the ball. Here goes Noel, seeing what's doing on the other side of the pitch. Yard is chasing it, and so is Chudley. Look at him. Ears pinned back, flashing feet, and put a lot of pressure on Yard there. And in the end, the clearance from Yard, not the best, but that was hard chasing from the Chiefs scrum half.
It was hard chasing. I think Noel short, Slade was making ground. I think those boys just after that defensive effort just didn't have the lungs to chase with him, or Yard might have been in more trouble.
And you see, after that passage of play, all the subs come out. Everyone's come out, told to warm up.
Yeah, the lads are blowing. Brilliant tracking back from Marlon Yard, considering he was making a break up the right a minute ago.
Pin perfect so far from Yendall, and that still is just Salvi rising high. Held up by Quinn's defence. Quinn's put in at the scrum. Stanley Heath on the left. He'll be spending part of his summer in South Africa with the Saxons. How close were they to breaking through the defence here?
Well, it looks like Welsh gets stitched up. He does get stepped by Stanley, but really it's Hepburn not covering on the inside. Collier holds him back a little bit. Good bit of shadowing, kind of ghosting defence. Hepburn leaves the hole. Stanley goes straight through it in the end. Good destructive defensive work from short.
Crouch.
Marlon Yard's only real option was that ball back inside.
Bind. Set. Yeah, thanks. Second one. Get stationary, please, White. That's two. That's two.
That's tough. I mean, it's movement. Takes two. Generally takes two teams to cause movement and a flop like that. Good opportunity for a reset. That I don't suppose anyone else is too worried.
Try at Kingsholm.
Yeah, Northampton have taken the lead. A lovely little break by Tom Wood. He's done this quite a lot this season. Back of the ruck, through the middle. And then who do you want on your shoulder? George North finishes under the post. They take the lead. I think it's 22-20 now to Northampton.
So can't do any better than finishing fifth this season. But that will confirm it as Quinn start to make changes. Will Collier and Charlie Matthews replaced by Kyle Sinclair and Sam Toomey. Clifford snatching ball that he perhaps wasn't expecting, running into short, and Salvi hauls him down. Kerr, Evans, Quinn's running with some threat here. Stanley with the biggest threat of all.
Ragdoll by Ewers.
Ripped, play on, ripped back off White.
Noel again.
Nothing wrong, mate, he just picked him up, he didn't put him down dangerously.
He didn't just pick him up.
Oh, that's nicely done.
Oh, that's class.
Roberts to Brown under a lot of pressure from Salvi. Apologies for the language. Chiefs pick up the ball, and now here goes Waldrum, short to his left. He's got Steenson inside, short by Goldie's own, and they've scored 2 tries after the half-time break to surely finish Harlequins off here.
Austin and I had someone tweeting us at half-time saying we're almost as boring as Exeter's one-dimensional approach. Have that one, Chief. This game is absolutely fantastic. Class from Roberts off the floor to Brown. Stanley a minute earlier looked like he was going to go through. Dave Ewers makes, it wasn't a tackle, he picked someone up and ragdolled them like a man playing against boys. This is brilliant from Roberts. Good tackle from Salvi. Again, more penetration from Brown. Such an aggressive ball runner. Exeter, good discipline to get back on side. Mitch Lees received some aggressive communication. Sorry about the language. Gets that ball away, and that's a really good finish from short, although he is going around a couple of props.
I'm all right, thanks.
Lambert nearly gets there.
As the ball
Lees through the legs, beautiful.
As the ball comes to Waldrum, you just think he's held on to it too long. Give it to Short, he's against Lambert. Lambert overruns Waldrum to try and get there. Almost does it, but Short's just got too much gas to go around the outside. As that ball popped out, that breakdown, right in the midfield, nobody reacted from the Quinn side. It tells you a story. They've expended a huge amount of emotional energy prior to the game, the first 20 minutes of the game. Now, they're absolutely dead on their feet.
Conversion from Steenson, and two of James Short's dozen tries now this season have been scored against Harlequins. One at Sandy Park for the turn of the year. This is well worth watching again. It's nice work from Waldron. He doesn't eat up any of the space. He's as straight as he can and just about keeps the room there for Short.
As soon as he got it though, Nick, I was thinking, give it, give it, give it. You're cutting down the guy's time, but he did enough.
By the way, Chiefs in the meantime have taken off Hepburn. Yendall replaced them with Cowan, Dickey and Moon, and Ian Whitton's come on for Sam Hill as well. Chiefs starting to rest players also, and no surprise that they've taken off Nick Evans. Botica's on.
4-man, fellas, 4-man.
Last time as a Quins player at the Stoop. He's off to Montpellier next season. Welch. Charlie Steenson. And this is Whitton. Regular starter at 12 over the last couple of months, but Hill got the nod today.
Don't go beyond the ball.
Waldron.
Well, Waldron's lucky to get away with that. He's tackled by Stanley to the floor and gets back to his feet without releasing. Should have been a penalty to Quins.
Dolman. Tackled by Toomey.
I think Welch is down on the far side of the field with an injury. He's been down for a while now, and he's just got back to his feet and fallen straight back down.
That's a tackle.
Looks quite serious, that.
Missed 3 months of the season with a pec injury, but that's a nasty-looking leg injury. As Paul dribbles out of play.
Nice kick that. We're looking over at Damien Welsh. Doesn't look good. He's gone up and down twice.
Now try at Kingston Park, Austin.
Yeah, it is, and it's a hat-trick. For Latu, another driving maul. It's messy, but again, short side, no defenders. He reads it, goes through, scores his third try. It's 50 in all up there currently.
Take your time, take your
First Newcastle hat-trick in the Premiership for 10 years.
Wow, you really have swallowed a stat book this weekend. Where did you get that one from?
Aid the stat. Our little
man
friend in the truck who knows everything.
Who's going to be in? How many? 5.
Jeff Parling is on. Poor old Damien Welch makes way. This is how he did it. Oh dear. Jar.
Poor bloke. Missed a chunk already. As soon as he comes back, he's playing well. He's played really well today. Doesn't look good, does it?
That's a significant blow with home semi-final Hoving interview. Confirmation of how things look below the top 4, and at the moment Harlequins are not finishing in the top 6, so they will have to beat Montpellier next Friday night in Lyon, final of the Challenge Cup, sure of Champions Cup rugby next season.
As Austin said, if you don't watch French rugby at home, that is a tough assignment. Montpellier in great form, not impossible, but tough.
It's gone loose, and this is Cowan Dickey. Present 5 metres short. They've got 5 tries, the Chiefs. And Noel will score their 6th, and Noel will score his hat-trick. For England at the beginning of the season, for Chiefs as we near the end of it, they are looking sharp, motoring towards a home semi-final.
It's turning into a mutually very beneficial relationship with Noel and Exeter Chiefs. He's a brilliant finisher with a really high work rate and a high drive on the ball, and he receives brilliant service from his centres, from his scrum halves. Good powerful running from Cowan Dickey, covering an overthrow at the back of the line out. That's a lovely pass. Chisholm done on the outside again. He'll hate that. Looks really deflated as Noel goes in. Training ground stuff from Chudley.
Well, Noel knows he's got the space. Earlier on in the phase, he had his hand up. He knew that he had the opportunity and the space on the outside, but it does need to be executed, and it needs to be finished. And that's where Exeter have been so strong today. Sinclair, arguably, could he have got down on the floor? Could he have got on the ball? Maybe. Even so, Exeter are just great to watch at the minute.
And Ollie Woodburn's coming on for Jack Noel. So that try was Noel's last act. He's being
putting Cotton Ball now ahead of the semi-final. Austin, another score.
Well, it's hat-tricks all over the Premiership this afternoon, Nick, and it's our old friend Chris Ashton scoring what is a trade book try for him. A little kick in behind. He has the pace to get past 3 defenders and the strength to finish. His third try, which basically takes Saracens way too far ahead. I think they're 34-14 ahead. That's the game. Conversion was made, 36-14 ahead.
Care what a Quins have nicely done. Oh, he's done it again. He scored a try like that a week ago, and now he's got another. He's doing his best David Campese impressions as the season draws to a close.
Cheese lads reckon he's dropped that. I wonder if that run back is overacting. He's already back at the halfway line, Sinclair.
He's almost back on the A316. He's gone that far, but let's have a look. Woodburn goes in. That's a try.
He did really well to avoid the tackle. Looked like he was getting it man and ball, pirouetted out. He was coasted by the end. He wasn't even 100%.
It's a carbon copy as well of the try he scored last week. Nick bumps somebody off, spins, accelerates. Nice finish.
Getting good at those, isn't he?
Another very good kick. Gives Marlon Yard time to get there. I think it was Whitten underneath that. I think Cowan-Dickie thinks he's going to get Sinclair. A lot of acceleration for a big unit. Quite fresh onto the field as well, which helps. Not many scrums in those legs. Very explosive.
We're doing that down in the south of France next season. Slap between the posts. Kyle Sinclair, once more, with work all of his own.
Steenson that moves up for the hit. Cowan-Dickie tries to cover him. Lovely footwork from Sinclair. And he does that football thing where they pull the ball out the back of the net and sprint back to the halfway line. Killjoy, if you ask me. He should have had a celebration. He's going to have to work out some sort of dance soon, isn't he?
6 years of Quinn, Conor O'Shea. Is it to end in Premiership terms? Beaten. Harlequins certainly mentally not beaten yet. They might have pulled off one or two key players, Nick Evans amongst them, with an eye on next weekend's European final. Botica now on. The way they're playing the rugby doesn't suggest that they're set to fish out the passports just yet. Here goes Sinclair again.
Well, that looked like a big head collision on Slade there. Be interested to see if he gets back up. Yeah, he's a hard kid, is Slade. He's a bit groggy though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is groggy.
Wobbling. Have to do some defending in a moment. Kerr comes back towards him, which he does. Here's Botica.
That's why he let it go. Stole the ball.
Oh, Ewers, fantastic. Half a second too late by Quins. Ewers pinches it over the top.
First one, knock on by 9. 2 knock-ons.
Slade's down here on the touchline, shaking his head.
And Ewers is injured as well.
What's up, fella? You got man down there, man down here. On each side. Yeah, no worries.
Courage, not an issue. You're talking about Henry Slade, but that's a big unit he's trying to hit. So you've got to get it head on one side or the other, but it's a long way round, Carl Sinclair. So if you're getting your head to one side, you are opening your shoulders right up because he's so big.
First game in charge for him, by the way, was away at Bath, March 2010. Before he started, that match started today. Brown Evans, Kerr and Robshaw, and I guess loyalty has been one of the trademarks in the O'Shea regime amongst lots of them. Lost at Northampton. 2028 latest score if you fancy watching events at Kingsholm right now. Across on BT Sport 2. Rugby tonight on Monday evening. Tim Visser, who's injured today for Quins, is our guest in the studio, and then next weekend there's Challenge and Champions Cup finals that we've been talking about. Quins against Montpellier probably on Friday night, then on Saturday. Racing against Saracens. Both games here with us on BT Sport.
Big day Saturday, isn't it, next week?
Watch on, please.
Final of the Champions Cup and your BT Sports Stag Do in Lyon following the game. Can't wait to duct tape you to a lamppost. It's not me you want to worry about, it's Ben Kay.
That was the quiet one. Samisa Rokodaguni scored another try. He's not out of the race yet to finish top of the pile, top of the try scorers pile at the end of this season. Now they've got the bonus point against Leicester out of the rep.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Yes, Thomas. Still in, fellas. Still. No, no, no. Pick it up.
Chudley still with us. This is Steenson, and now Dolman, and there are gaps opening up alarmingly here. Dolman striding for the line, and he scored another. And they've got 7.
How easy was that, though? How easy does that look?
It's all from the set-up play as they come back through Chudley. The decoy runner in front holds 3 defenders instead of just 1. Look at the line run by Mitch Lees. Holds 2 defenders, opens the door for Dolman, and off he goes. Yards way too wide. Just allows the pace of Dolman and the angle to carry him to the line. It has been their Achilles heel all year, Nick Quinns. There's only 3 sides conceded more tries than them all year. The bottom 3.
They've now conceded 63. It's a long way from as tight as they would want it to be. Nick Easter coming in with a fresh set of keys next season.
It was actually a good line by Mitch Lees. Looks really basic because it is, but how often do you see those decoy lines run by guys who know they're not getting it and look like they know they're not getting it? He may well have taken that ball. He's a massive guy, so he held defenders. Dolman had all the space. Hell of a kick.
He's judged that perfectly. Gareth Steenson, who's won the club's Player of the Year award a couple of nights ago, and he's going to win the Aviva Premiership's Golden Boot award as well as the top point scorer, and he was involved in the 7th try.
That line's still got to be run, Nick, by Mitch Lees. It's not been short of work so far in this game. 60 minutes in, massive guy. Got to be on that list for Eddie Jones. He was before he got injured. We heard people speaking about him. I think he's had an excellent game again. That's going to be close to a yellow.
Well, you could see the frustration that Marlon Yard felt as that try was run in. He was livid with the defence inside him, and frustration perhaps just overflowing a little there.
If that's not the last game of the season, that's a yellow card. He hooks the ankle.
It's not even a collision, is it? It's a conscious way, the conscious hooking.
I don't need to, Sean. Thanks. My cork's seen it live.
Wayne Barnes knows. He's been spoken to by his assistant there, but he knows it's enough.
Thomas Waldron, by the way, has been replaced. Kai Horseman has come on, so Waldron will bank his chips. He won't score any more than the 13 tries that he's got. Christian Wade still on 12. For the time being,
who's in, fella?
he's back on.
He's going to come in. You saw it, Quinn.
He went off and now he's back on again. He's got the score from the Rico. He's heard that Wade is Wade's scoring. Waldron's back with us.
Once.
Has possession now.
Use it.
George Merrick wrestling for the ball, winning back possession.
I thought he was in the middle, so he came through.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see that again. I'm not.
I'll give you time, fellas, but
absolutely prepared to be wrong, but I'm not sure Merrick did come through the middle then. Exeter seems to be pretty nicely formed up the front. So Merrick's on the outside, a huge guy on the far side. He's coming over the top. Dave Ewers is in the middle. He's not coming between Ewers and Parling. He's gone straight round the outside. He's clawed his way, but he's gone round the outside. For me, that's a penalty for Chiefs.
And Nick Easter has been replaced. I wonder if that's the last time obviously the increasingly grey-speckled warhorse in the Premiership. 280th game for Harlequins next season. They'll have a tracksuit with the word coach.
I hope it's not the last time. Future Hall of Famer, one of the greats.
Both ones, shoulders up.
Yeah, the captain off as well. His 150th Premiership game.
Shoulders,
this week,
please,
by the way,
both ones.
Thank you. Tito Tiboldi, the backup scrum half, on his way to Treviso next season. I guess he'll be closer to Conor O'Shea. His new role in Italy. Chris Robshaw, by the way, is Queen's new captain.
Just came out the top.
Work for Ben Moon.
He lost the back and went back.
A lot like Hepburn, actually, he stays a bit tighter to his hooker, does Moon. But he's very, very fit. He's not a huge looser prop, but he got undercast Sinclair then. It's just work ethic. Goes to show, sometimes the harder you work, the more you get. Kai Horseman looks like he's coming on. Here's Moon. Just folds Sinclair in, pushes Sinclair back past his hooker. There's no recovering from that. Targets an outside shoulder of Sinclair and works it. Sinclair's not able to resist that power or slip inside and get away from Moon.
Mitch, right? Okay. Watch out.
Moon, who's moved beyond 100 Premiership games recently. He's really been putting in shifts over the last few weeks. Giving a little bit of a breather, joining us off the bench today. We're talking about Tim Visser, our guest on Monday Evening Rugby Tonight.
Hold on, they're just making a replacement. Okay.
Quins changing the front row. Mark Lambert has been replaced by Owen Evans. Waldrum to short. In search of a hat-trick of his own. Knowles already got one. This is Rimmer. Sparingly this season. Hasn't started in the Premiership. Again off the bench today. Slade's waiting for it. Chudley's going. Stretch is scoring. Oh, this is becoming very grisly for Harlequins. Less than a week to go before what's now going to be their biggest game of the season, a European final. They're being picked apart here by the Chiefs.
Well, that yardage made by Short to the middle just again looked too easy. Chudley here, it's Robshaw steps away. So Merrick is the first defender, but as Robshaw is the second defender there, has got to stay in case the scrum half Chudley goes around that first defender and puts the ball back inside. Ideally, you don't want your first defender chasing that 9. Robshaw just steps out, can only offer a hand on the way through. Sharp work from Chudley.
Chiefs into the 50s. They got a half century, and this is not the way Conor O'Shea deserves to say goodbye to the Aviva Premiership.
No, conceding 50 at home. Certainly not, Nick. But it's all about the work rate of the front 5 of Quins, including the guys that have come off the bench. They've come off the bench and they're stood on the short side. Nobody's wrapping round, which puts a lot more pressure on Robshaw. He's having to do a lot more work, somebody else's work. He should be pushed out to 3rd, 4th defender by one of his type 5, particularly in that scenario where you've got nobody in front of you on the blind.
Woodburn picking some holes. Horseman on for Mitch Lees, you will have seen. Waldrum still with us. Tackled by Matt Luamanu, New Zealand newcomer this season, Salvi. Chiefs have a couple of weeks before that playoff semi-final. Here goes Woodburn. Whitten did well to get that away. Oh, well, now here goes Slade, and this is getting horrible for Harlequins. But Exeter are shining a light on all that's good about them right now.
Psychologically, Exeter Chiefs are in some place here now at the stoop. Brilliantly got away by Whitten to Woodburn. Lovely from Woodburn to Slade, and it's all looking too easy. This is horrible for Quins. Considering what they've got to do next week, they've got to get themselves back up for it. Whitten does really well to get that away. Woodburn does well to hold it. Back out to Slade. Dixon's not getting him all the gas in the world. It just looks so easy. The Harlequins' defence has dissolved.
It's just about an ability to run, an ability to work, ability to cover ground. Quins weren't short of numbers there on the blind side. They were 4 on 3, but more often than not, you can cover that with a touchline. There's no line speed, there's no cover defence, and there's no recovery. And it's just great play from Exeter. Very simple, ball in 2 hands, run at the defender, make him make a decision, pass the ball to the outside, and then support.
We're staying at 55 or going up to 57. We're staying at 55, whatever. It's the most points that Harlequins have ever conceded in the Premiership at the Stoop now.
It was, Austin's right. It's not well defended by Harlequins, but it's brilliantly attacked by Exeter Chiefs. And you just start thinking about next week for Quins in Lyon. Yes, they got a few key players off the field. Rob Shaw's still out there. Brown, Easter's put in a big shift. Jamie Roberts, another massive shift he put in today. These guys have all got to recover psychologically by next weekend against a very good team in France.
Joe Marchant, by the way, still a teenager.
Hold on, fellas, hold,
Jamie Roberts.
Stop. Yeah, only when it's out though. You got the line back.
Roberts was then the man of the match, you'll remember, in the semi-final against Grenoble in a fortnight. Still got an opportunity alongside Nick Evans
How many?
to end their season with a fanfare. But whatever the opposite of a fanfare is right now, we're experiencing it.
Well, it's horrible for those boys, but Chiefs are properly at it today, as they were last week.
Still got over 10 minutes to go. There's no reason for Exeter to conserve energy. As we were saying, they've got to chilling the engines before they really need to get back into playoff mode.
In some ways, when you're in this sort of form, you probably don't want that week off. You want to carry that momentum through. So it'd be interesting to see. There's always a dilemma in the early years of the playoffs, having that week off if you won the league before you had the final. What did you do in the week off? Do you carry on high intensity, or do you actually give the players time to recover? They have been great to watch today, though, Exeter, haven't they?
Just a little, thanks.
In almost every single aspect of the game. Could argue the only thing that hasn't worked for them is they're driving more.
Waldron, Whitten. By Luamanu. How lovely was that from Steenson. Taken forward by Cowan-Dickey. Looking for a 10th try number 10. It's not coming just yet.
Very, very good from Mike Brown. Staunch work in defence, no matter the scoreline.
By the way, 10 minutes to go. We can confirm the semi-final lineup. We now know for sure that Saracens will be at home to Leicester, and Exeter have earned that home tie against Wasps. It'll be a double header on the Saturday. Fortnight today. Saracens against Leicester, Exeter Wasps. Both games, of course, here on BT Sport. Bottiger gets enveloped on his own 5-metre line.
Well, they've got to try something, haven't they? There's no point in him just punting the ball long.
Use it, Carl.
These are competitive men, proud men. They want to get something back. Chris Robshaw's unbelievable. His engine is unbelievable. Has not stopped, will not stop.
He's one of the big names who's recommitted for the next few seasons. Attempted hit from Owen Evans, from the Wales under-20 prop, who's with us. Taken by Shaw, but the ball was
It's Graham Quinn's ball.
knocked on.
Knocked on after a pretty heavy tackle from Rob Shaw. He made 2 of the last 3 tackles. He's made half the others as well, I think. Covers a lot of ground.
It's already been Exeter's best ever league season. 29 seasons of league rugby now. Finished 9th in the 3rd division when it all began in 1987. They were playing the Vale of Loon, Fylde, the Met Police back then. whatever happens over the remaining few weeks of this season, it's already a history-making one, but we made the semi-finals. Will be a long way from acceptable now for Exeter. They have their eyes on much bigger things. David Lewis, for his 99th Premiership game. Dickey's come off, which might be a little bit of a concern, having come on initially as a replacement. So what's going on here?
Yendel's back on. They can just swap the front row guys back on. I think Cowan Dickey, it's either neck or a shoulder. He had a couple of shoulder tests which sat on the pitch there from the physios, which sadly I recognise all too well. I think he's all right. He's waving his arm around. Bit of a stinger. Didn't look too serious. Why risk him? You're 40 points up.
Yes, please, mate.
Try the recount. We'll bring you that shortly. Meantime, break from Marchant. He's one of those who offers much for the future here. Started to take his opportunities this season. Botica's waiting. Toomey's behind him, but Botica switches to the open side, and then Robshaw bursts through the hole. And Stanley for the line, and short, determined defence. But there was no stopping Winston Stanley. A little bit of cry of defiance in the dark towards the end of this match, but Quins have another try.
Lovely break from Marchant. Spoke to Mark Mapletoft a few weeks ago. He said, keep your eyes on this kid, he's special. That was a lovely break. Outside Lewis, fended off Steenson. Really, really classy. And who are we talking about 2 minutes ago? Botica back inside to Robshaw, indefatigable. I was just thinking, give it, give it, give it. Maybe he doesn't like passing off his left hand, I don't know. He had enough.
What I liked about that was Robshaw was the one that actually saw the space. He gets his right arm up, points to Botica, tells him to go down the short side, and he's going to be on his shoulder. That's exactly where he was. Breaks through, gives the pass. Said it, his work rate is amazing. And he gives it just at the right time, draws the player. Just enough to keep short away for long enough.
Really good try.
Now, as it stands, at the moment, Sale just 3 points ahead. Harlequins now within striking distance of a losing bonus point. Let's not lose sight of the fact that they've still got things to play for. The fact that Julian Salvi has gone over for what might be the 10th try of the match is almost irrelevant now from a Harlequins point of view, because they still have a shot at top 6, albeit in a match that, from their point of view, went a long time ago.
Woodburn flies in there, pats it back. It's whether that goes forward off Rimmer.
I think that's a knock-on from Rimmer. I think it hits him on the right hand.
You've got this
Great jump from Woodburn. You can't see it from that, but that's Woodburn's. That's Rimmer's right arm. I think it's a knock-on.
Yeah, we're going to see the second, see who he came off.
Yeah, it's obviously happy with the first deflection from 23.
Really good work from Woodburn.
Yeah. This one, who was this come off?
I'm not so sure. It's not Rimmer's right arm. I think it's Rimmer's left or Evans' right.
Yeah, it's hard to see from that angle.
This one might.
Oh, this could be the one. It's Rimmer. It's off Rimmer's chest, is it?
So that's not a knock-on then.
He's got very firm pecs. It's a decent bounce.
A clear knock-on off the arm.
And he misses it with the right arm as he tries to gather it from his chest.
The next question is, if it hits off his chest, is the player who picks it up in front of him offside? Yes, he is. Kai Horseman's offside.
Lovely flick on from Horseman, but I think he was inside. He's in front of him, wasn't he?
White player and gone forward. So can we have like a bit of a wider view? Does that make
we'll
sense?
try a wider view for you.
Because we've got off the chest at the moment, so no knock on.
Yes.
But then if he's in front, it's accidental offside. If he's not, it's a try.
Okay.
Is he in front when it hits his chest, though?
It's close, isn't it? Really close. I would argue not, actually.
Let's have a look. Wait till it hits Rimmer's chest. Look at the man in the orange boots outside him. Is he offside?
Yeah,
no, he's not.
Level, so try.
He's on try.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on the mark. It's off the chest, and they're then level, so they're not offside. No, it's off the chest. It's got to be off the arm, remember. So it's off the chest. Gone forward off the chest, and that's not a knock-on, so it's a try. No, he's not at level. We looked at that as well.
Salvi with the Chiefs' 10th try of the afternoon, and they're up to 60. And no wonder Tony Rowe, the man whose money started this grand adventure, is enjoying himself like few other afternoons in the history of this club. Exeter's most points
What we got left,
in a Premiership game. He's in the groove.
Something interesting was happening just as Steenson was lining it up. The Quins boys are ready. Of course, they can't start until the kick's taken, but Botica did a little dummy drop kick to try and fool some of the Exeter players. Try and keep it light-hearted. Jack Yendall absolutely bit and has been ribbed by all the Harlequins players off camera. Good stuff, good pranks.
Just a reminder, there's still stuff for Quins to play for here. Sale with a narrow lead against Newcastle. If Newcastle can score a try, who knows how important a bonus point for Quins would be if they can get a fourth of their own. Approaching the final 5 minutes of the regular season, and still things to play for. That's been lost forward by Rimmer.
Hit the player in front of him as well.
Man of the match time.
Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it, with Exeter? They've had so many good players today. They've got to defend at the minute. Dave Ewers has had a fantastic game physically. Chudley, I think, has been excellent. Mitch leads in the midfield, making tackles and runs. But you can't look any further than an absolutely fantastic performance by that man there, Jack Noel. 3 tries, electric all over the field, both in attack and defence, and he's our Aviva Premiership man of the match.
Tackle, fellas!
Dixon, Botica. By Rob Buchanan, back involved for the first time since February. Chisholm. Joe Ford with a penalty for Sale has just eased their nerves a little bit. They now lead by 6, 21-15. And at the moment, Sale are finishing inside the top 6 and guaranteeing Champions Cup rugby next season. Botica. Clifford continues to look for holes. Now, is this the moment when they start to build the bricks that might take them towards the 4th try and that bonus point? Brown still waiting for his first try of the season. It's been 10 years since he went through a whole campaign without scoring one. This would be an opportune time. Buchanan. Oh, Stanley got it away. Here goes Yard. Short and Witten to beat. Beat Witten, but not short. Botica, Luamanu was charging onto it. Ball never reached him. Stanley, try scorer. This is Marchant. Dixon. Actually refereed the A-League final that the Exeter Braves won at the start of this week.
Use it!
Beckoning for him in the 1-2 distance as a ref. Toomey. These phases in the match. What will it lead to? Buchanan with the latest thud forward. Luamanu. Now maybe. Botica. Stanley. Oh, Botica doesn't use it. This is Yard for the bonus point score. What a tackle that was. Determination from the Chiefs' defence and from Ian Witten and co that they will not be passed.
A lovely bit of goose stepping from Botica. Yendall has to stay and cover. Witten gets sucked in. Easy enough tackle to make, and it is a strong tackle. Marlon Yard's a strong ball carrier, but there's nowhere for Yard to go. Can't dip a shoulder, can't step inside.
Shoulder out, biting on his body, please.
That rat's tail haircut, magnificent.
As things stand, Harlequins need this bonus point try. And equally importantly, they need Newcastle to score a converted try, because Sale are beating them at the moment.
White. See if it comes.
The ball, Luamanu under some pressure. Still struggling through, and has Luamanu managed to get that down under control?
Just come back for the penalty. No advantage. He lost that clearly forward. Penalty, number 1.
Quick decision from Wayne Barnes. No messing around.
Thanks, Nigel.
It's over a minute to go now.
Number 1. When you're ready, Carl.
A couple of extra movements in there.
Saracens have won at Worcester, confirming that they will head into the playoffs. Top of the pile. Wins continuing
backwards.
To chip away. Rob Shaw has not stopped all day. Clifford, Yard, Brown beyond him, but he was tangled up before he could get it away. Lewis, chief amongst the tacklers.
Salvi, brilliant. Seemed to get on that very, very early. Not too early in the eyes of Wayne Barnes. Great technique. Harlequins exhausted.
That could just well be the most important turnover in Sale's season. Because Newcastle are right on the line attacking, going for the try.
Premiership says its goodbyes to Conor O'Shea. Not a farewell he will care to remember for a while. He's still got a European final to end his time with Harlequins on a high, with a smile. But Sandy Park will host a playoff semi-final, a playoff shootout for the first time in its history.